begin by shedding some light on a couple of situations that have happened in real life that you might be aware of. The bombing of Nagasaki. You may be aware that US originally planned to bomb a city named Kokura in Japan. But on the day of military strike, the cloudy skies made it impossible for military aircraft to spot Kokura as they flew overhead. Before the pilots gave up, the plane flew over the city 3 times. Locals in bunkers braced themselves for the catastrophe as they heard the buzz of the jet about to deliver the nuclear bomb. Kokura, however, was never bombed. Due to better visibility and better cloudy conditions, US strike chose Nagasaki as their target. That abrupt choice has huge repercussions. If that day had not been foggy, history would have taken a very different turn. People living in Kokura are still frightened by the close call, making it one of the luckiest cities of Japan. Surprising, right? Let's hop on to the next one. The Vienna Academy of Fine Arts once denied a boy's application twice. A young artist applied to the art school but was turned down, probably by a Jewish professor. That rejection proved to be something we could have never predicted. That prediction turned the young artist into human personification of evil. The young artist is none other than the Adolf Hitler. We can only speculate on how history must have turned. And it's very reasonable to say that a lot of sorrow must have been prevented if Hitler had focused on creation instead of destruction. Did you notice anything similar between the two examples that I just mentioned? Did you notice that a seemingly insignificant event have a big impact on our lives? What are these instances and how are they related? To redirect all your attention to my talk, that's the butterfly effect. What is butterfly effect? Butterfly effect, once back in 1960, and meteorologist Edward Lorenz posed the theory that flap of a butterfly's wings in Brazil can set off a tornado in Texas. The answer to that probably differs from what we have heard. He coined the term the butterfly effect. Butterfly effect is a metaphor that is used to show that how small incidents have a bigger impact on our lives. It may appear that our little decisions and little events in our life have little or no influence on bigger picture of our lives. But if you take minor occurrence or minor inconvenience in your life, you may be able to identify how a minor occurrence was a spark for a major transformation in your life. The butterfly effect is based on the fact that the universe is profoundly interrelated and that each and every event in your life follows a specific chronology or is highly interconnected in such a manner that one tiny occurrence can have a bigger impact on the complicated system of our life. I would like to share a personal life incident involving the butterfly effect. For those of you who do not know, I belong from a commerce stream which quite contradicts my goals in grade 9. After being inspired by characters of Big Bang Theory and my teenage fascination of moons and stars, I decided I want to be an astronomer. After getting inspired by this film again, I used to envision myself as the commanding officer of ISRO as if I would have led the Chandrayaan today. But I realized that I wasn't meant to become an astronomer, and my grades proved it as they fluctuated. The fascinating thing I derived that I never consider myself as a practical astronomer. To deal with the excessive grief of getting a reality check of not being an astronomer, I started penning down my thoughts, my sorrows, my griefs in the form of poetry. Poetry helped me to explore my creative side. It helped me to channelize my creative soul and open my blinded eyes which have been directed towards science streams thanks to my false fascinations. That's how I chose to abandon my impractical goals and pursue a path that not only has a tremendous impact on my life, but also turn my goals into desired actions. Now allow me to paint a picture in your mind on how these events are butterfly effect. What if I've never watched Big Bang Theory, then I would have never been inspired to become an astronomer. Imagine my grades never fluctuated. It would have given me some sort of confidence and I would have considered myself as a practical astronomer. Due to which I would have never penned down my thoughts in form of poetry. Now allow me to paint a picture in your mind on how these events create a butterfly effect. If I would have never watched the Big Bang Theory, I would have never thought to become a practical astronomer. What if my grades never fluctuated? I would have considered myself as an astronomer, due to which I would have never expressed my grief, my sorrow in the form of poetry, and my vibrant creative side would remain untouched, and I would be forged towards studying the subjects that I could never foresee studying now. Do you realize how these events were connected and created a butterfly effect? It almost felt like a well-designed domino effect, starting from watching the Big Bang Theory to penning down my thoughts in the form of poetry. Consider life to be an MCQ question where each option represents an decision you take in your life, where each option will transport you to an alternative reality. What if I chose an option A instead of option B? Maybe in alternative reality, I would be enjoying studying subjects that seem unattainable to me in this reality. But in this reality, I am standing in front of you, making you all aware that your existence matters. 8 billion people in this world, but your every choice, every decision matters. My urge to all the listeners, find your own chronology, look back into the past and find that how a single thread connected all the events and proved this theory. When you're going to teleport to your past, you're going to realize that how an event took place for the existence of another. That's the butterfly effect. Let the universe flow to you. Everything, I repeat, everything happens for a legitimate reason. A reason which you might not discover now, but wait for what future holds for you. Thank you.